Have you ever wondered why some relationships seem to thrive while others falter? Well, the answer often lies in one essential element: communication. Yes, the simple act of exchanging information, ideas, and feelings. It's the lifeblood of any relationship, be it with a loved one, a friend, a coworker, or even with oneself. In this vast universe of human interactions, communication is the gravitational force that keeps us connected. It's like the bridge that links two islands, allowing them to share resources, experiences, and most importantly, understandings. But what happens when this bridge is damaged or worse, non-existent? Misunderstandings creep in, conflicts arise, and before you know it, the once flourishing island is now a desolate place. Poor communication can lead to such dire consequences. It's not just about not talking, it's about not connecting. And when we fail to connect, we fail to understand, to empathize, and to grow together. On the flip side, imagine a sturdy, well-maintained bridge. It not only facilitates smooth transport but also withstands the harsh weather and the test of time. That's what effective communication does to relationships. It fosters understanding, builds trust, and strengthens the bond. It's not just about speaking but truly being heard. It's about understanding and being understood. It's about sharing and caring. It's about being there, not just physically but emotionally and mentally as well. So, you see, communication is not just a tool, it's an art. An art that requires patience, practice, and above all, the willingness to invest in it. It's the art of being present, of listening, of expressing, and of understanding. It's the art of building bridges and nurturing them. It's the art of love, of friendship, of kinship, of humanity. If you're wondering how to master this art, don't worry, we've got you covered. In the upcoming scenes, we'll explore the various aspects of effective communication and provide you with practical tips to enhance your communication skills. So, let's delve into the art of effective communication and how it can turn around your relationships. But first, what exactly do we mean by effective communication? Well, it's all about clarity, assertiveness, active listening, and empathy. You see, effective communication is not just about talking. It's about conveying your thoughts and feelings in a way that the other person can clearly understand. It's about being assertive, not aggressive or passive, in expressing what you want or need. At the heart of effective communication is active listening. This means really hearing what the other person is saying, not just waiting for your turn to speak. It's about understanding their perspective, their feelings, their needs. But it doesn't stop there. Effective communication also involves responding empathetically. That is, showing genuine understanding and compassion for the other person's feelings and experiences. By combining clarity, assertiveness, active listening, and empathy, we can fully engage in effective communication. Now that we know what effective communication is, let's explore how to achieve it. Listening, they say, is an art. But why is it so important in communication? Picture this: you're in a conversation with someone and they're talking, but you're not really listening. You're thinking about what you're going to say next. Or maybe you're just nodding along, waiting for your turn to speak. Sounds familiar? Well, that's not listening, that's just hearing. And there's a world of difference between the two. Listening is an active process. It involves more than just receiving sound waves through your ears. It's about understanding, interpreting, and responding to those words in a way that lets the speaker know they've been heard and understood. It's about giving the speaker your undivided attention, making them feel valued, and creating a connection. Active listening is a cornerstone of effective communication. It's not just about being passive receivers of information, but engaging with the speaker in a meaningful way. This means asking relevant questions, providing feedback, and even restating or paraphrasing what the speaker said to ensure you've got the right understanding. But here's the kicker. Active listening also means understanding and validating the other person's feelings. It's easy to dismiss or minimize how someone else feels, especially if you don't agree with them. But when you do that, you're not just invalidating their feelings, you're also shutting down communication. Instead, active listening encourages us to put our own biases and judgments aside and truly empathize with the other person. It's about acknowledging their feelings, even if we don't fully understand or agree with them. This doesn't mean you have to solve their problems or change their minds, but simply showing that you understand and respect their perspective can go a long way in fostering better communication. So, next time you find yourself in a conversation, remember, it's not just about waiting for your turn to speak. It's about really listening to what the other person is saying, understanding their perspective, and validating their feelings. Remember, listening is not just about being quiet, but about understanding. Now let's talk about expressing yourself. How can you do it assertively without coming off as aggressive? You see, expressing yourself assertively means standing up for your own thoughts and feelings while also respecting those of others. It's about open, honest, and direct communication. But how can you do this without being seen as confrontational or aggressive? Firstly, it's important to use I statements. This means expressing your feelings from your perspective, rather than blaming or accusing the other person. For example, instead of saying "you never listen to me," try "I feel unheard when I share my thoughts." This way, you're owning your feelings, and it lessens the likelihood of the other person becoming defensive. Next, always maintain a respectful tone. Even when you're frustrated or upset, try to keep your emotions in check. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings, but rather expressing them in a way that respects the other person's feelings and perspective. Remember, it's not just about what you say, but how you say it. Also, it's crucial to stay calm. Even if the conversation becomes heated, try to keep your cool. This might mean taking a few deep breaths, counting to 10, or even taking a short break if necessary. Staying calm allows you to communicate your feelings more effectively and reduces the risk of the conversation escalating into an argument. Lastly, be clear and concise in your communication. Avoid beating around the bush or using vague language. Be direct about what you want, need, or feel. This reduces misunderstandings and ensures that your message is clearly understood. So there you have it. Expressing yourself assertively is all about balance. It's about stating your thoughts and feelings clearly and directly, but also listening to and respecting the other person's perspective. It's not always easy, but with practice you'll find that it can significantly improve your communication and relationships. Remember, assertiveness is about respect for both yourself and the other person. Did you know that communication is not just about words? It's true. While words form a significant part of our conversations, non-verbal cues play an equally, if not a more profound role in how our messages are perceived. These cues can either supplement our words, lending them more power, or sabotage them completely, changing the meaning entirely. Imagine, if you will, you are saying something serious, but your face is laughing. Your words and your facial expression are at odds. This incongruity can confuse the listener, and they might misunderstand your message. That's one example of how facial expressions play a part in communication. A smile can show warmth and acceptance, while a frown can indicate displeasure or confusion. Now let's talk about body language. Your posture, gestures, and even how much space you occupy can convey a wealth of information. Leaning in can show interest and engagement, while crossing your arms might signal defensiveness or discomfort. Even the direction of your feet can say a lot. Pointing towards the person you're talking to can mean you're focused on them, while feet pointed away might show a desire to exit the conversation. Next up, we have tone of voice. This is perhaps one of the most nuanced elements of nonverbal communication. The same phrase can mean different things depending on the tone in which it's delivered. A friendly tone can make a simple "how are you?" sound caring and sincere. But say it in a sarcastic or dismissive tone and it can sound insincere or even rude. So, you see, nonverbal communication is a silent language that we all speak, often without even realizing it. It's a powerful tool that can help you deliver your message more effectively. But it's also a double-edged sword. If not managed well, it can distort your message, leading to misunderstandings. The key lies in aligning your nonverbal cues with your verbal message. This alignment creates a harmony that makes your communication more authentic and effective. So the next time you're having a conversation, remember to pay attention to your nonverbal cues. They can speak louder than words. Scene script. Even with the best intentions, communication can go awry. But how can you avoid these pitfalls? You're not alone if you've ever found yourself in a conversation that seemed to spiral out of control, despite your best efforts. Common communication pitfalls like interrupting, not paying attention, or displaying negative body language can all contribute to miscommunication. But fear not. With a little mindfulness and practice, these can be avoided. First off, let's tackle interrupting. It's something we've all done, often without realizing it. But the interruption can send a message that what we have to say is more important than what the other person is expressing. To avoid this, make a conscious effort to listen fully before responding. Try counting to 3 in your head after the person finishes speaking before you jump in. It might feel a bit awkward at first, but it ensures that the other person has fully expressed their thoughts. Next up, not paying attention. With so many distractions around us, it's easy to let our minds wander during a conversation. But remember, effective communication requires active involvement. So make a point to focus on the person you're speaking with. Put away your phone, clear your mind, and really listen to what they're saying. Lastly, negative body language. You might not be saying anything hurtful, but your body could be telling a different story. Crossed arms, lack of eye contact, or constantly looking at your watch can all send negative signals. Practice open and positive body language to show that you're invested in the conversation. And remember, no one is perfect. We all slip up from time to time. The key is to be aware of these pitfalls and make a conscious effort to avoid them. Practice makes perfect after all. Avoid these pitfalls and you're on your way to more effective communication. So, keep these tips in mind and you'll be well on your way to fostering better and more meaningful conversations. So, how can you put all these into practice? You might be wondering now. Well, the answer is simple. You practice, and then practice some more. Let's start with setting aside time for meaningful conversations. In our fast-paced world, we often forget the importance of slowing down and truly connecting with others. Try to dedicate at least a few minutes each day to have a real, heart-to-heart conversation with someone you care about. It doesn't have to be a deep philosophical discussion. Even a casual chat about your day can help strengthen your communication skills. Next, focus on active listening. This is not just about hearing the words that are being said, but understanding the emotions and intentions behind them. Pay attention to the speaker, show empathy, and give feedback when appropriate. This will not only make the speaker feel valued, but also help you gain a deeper understanding of their perspective. Now let's talk about expressing your feelings assertively. This might be a bit challenging, especially if you're not used to opening up to others. But remember, being assertive doesn't mean being aggressive. It's about expressing your thoughts and feelings in a respectful and confident manner. Practice using I statements, such as I feel, I think, or I need, instead of blaming or criticizing the other person. And finally, remember to be patient with yourself. Improving your communication skills is not an overnight process. It might take some time and effort, but the results will be worth it. You'll start seeing improvements in your relationships, your self-confidence, and even your overall happiness. So, are you ready to start practicing effective communication? I hope the answer is a resounding yes, because with practice you can turn these tips into habits and these habits into a lifestyle. Remember, practice makes perfect. Keep practicing and you'll see improvements in your communication. And that, my friends, is the key to avoiding relationship mishaps. So go ahead, start practicing and watch your relationships flourish. So, let's sum up what we've learned today. We've explored the world of effective communication, a vital skill that holds the power to either make or break our relationships. We've understood that effective communication extends beyond mere words. It involves listening, expressing, and even our nonverbal cues. One of the first things we delved into was the importance of effective communication. We discovered that it's not just about getting our point across, but more about fostering understanding, building trust, and nurturing emotional connections. We've seen how effective communication can help prevent misunderstandings, resolve conflicts, and ultimately, avoid relationship mishaps. We also learned about the art of active listening. It's not just about hearing words, but understanding the emotions and intentions behind them. By fully engaging in what our partners are saying, we can better understand their perspective and make them feel valued and heard. Then we moved on to the concept of assertive expression. This is about expressing our thoughts and feelings in a confident, respectful way, without trampling on the rights of others. It's about being honest, direct, and clear, yet considerate and empathetic. We also discussed the role of nonverbal communication. We've learned how our body language, facial expressions, and even the tone of our voice can speak volumes about our feelings and intentions. We've seen how these nonverbal cues can sometimes communicate more effectively than words. And finally, we looked at how to avoid communication pitfalls. We discovered that by avoiding negative patterns like criticism, defensiveness, stonewalling, and contempt, we can greatly enhance our communication skills and improve our relationships. Remember, these are not just concepts to be understood, but skills to be practiced and honed. It's all about continuous learning and improvement. Remember, effective communication is the key to avoiding relationship mishaps. So, keep practicing, keep improving, and see your relationships thrive.